Hello, and welcome to the Inner Game of Entrepreneurship podcast. I'm your host, Sarah, and I am here today with your Libra season and equinox reading for heart-centered entrepreneurs. Y'all, the cards today are so special and so beautiful. I'm very moved by this reading. I'm probably going to cry. So it's just like me giving you a warning in advance. A lot of the cards that we got this time are cards that we've either never gotten before or we haven't gotten them in a long time, which indicates to me that there are big shifts happening. Sometimes, if you've been around for these readings, we get the same cards for like months in a row. Not all the same cards, but one or two will keep popping up, which usually indicates that like we're all working through or we're kind of stuck on a certain point. We're not working through a block. A lot has shifted. There's a lot that's different in this reading. And it's really special. So if you're new to these readings, I do the same 6 questions in the same order every time. The cards are pre-shuffled, pre-paid over. If you see me looking over here, I have notes so that I can try to stay on topic and on task. So we're just going to get right into these cards. And I always start with what is the current situation in the collective? What's going on right now? And the card that we got is Pandora's Gift. I want to start with a little Greek mythology deep dive for those of you who might not fully remember the story of Pandora's box. So, first off, Pandora means all gifted. Pandora was literally created by the gods. She was not born, she was built by the gods to be the quote unquote perfect woman. So, each of the gods gave her something, gave her a gift. Athena gave her cleverness. Aphrodite gave her beauty and charm. Apollo gave her musical skill. All the gods gave her a gift. She was not born, she was built. She is the first woman, the archetypal woman in Greek mythology. But the other thing that she was given, which Greek mythology suggested was a quote unquote less desirable trait, was insatiable curiosity. So Zeus, god of gods, gives her this box and he says, never open this. And we all know what happens when you tell a smart woman never to do something. She opens the box, right? At a certain point, her curiosity gets the better of her. She's too smart to sit with this box in her house and never open it. So she opens the box and it is full of misery, sickness, sorrow, all the ills of the world. Surprise, surprise. Woman is blamed for unleashing every sorrow and misery onto the earth. We like to do that in creation myths in the West. Now, if you ask me, this whole thing is a giant setup to blame women for everything, because remember, they designed her. It's a trap. You in danger, girl, right? Like, I designed you to be the perfect woman, and I gave you the trait of curiosity, and then I blamed you for being curious. Anyway, it's a setup. That's a whole separate conversation. So she opens the box. Everything bad comes out of the box. She slams the lid of the box shut, but it's too late. All of the ills of the world are out. And there's one thing left in the bottom of the box. Do we remember what it is? Say it with me. It's hope. So there's a lot to be said here about this myth and what it means. There's also a lot to be said here about the mindset of the ancient Greeks and the idea that women are to blame for every single trouble faced by humanity and like how the Greeks felt about women. But what I really want to focus on is what the box represents. The box symbolizes knowledge and the consequences that come with it. The box represents the fuck around and the find out and the fuck around again that is the human condition. The box represents the we were so busy wondering whether or not we could that we never stopped to think about whether or not we should Jurassic Park of it all. That our own hubris, our far-reaching ambition are our destruction. But the same mind that gives us this insatiable quest to find out is also the source of our hope. That as a species, we are so clever that we fuck ourselves routinely, but we also really believe that there's always a brighter day, always something out there, always an answer, always a next step, always a solution, and that we're always searching for it. And I think that right now, during this time in the world, it's really important that that's coming up for us. Now, there's another thing that is rooted in this myth, which is the core belief that you should be punished for how you were made, that you should be punished for the gifts that you were given. You were designed to be a certain way. You were brilliantly, beautifully, and fearfully made in his image or whatever, right? Like whatever you want to say. All of these creation myths kind of suggest the same thing, that we're made in the image of God, in the image of Creator, that we are the universe reflected back to itself. But then also you should be punished for the way that you were made, that your gifts, that the things that make you who you are, the truth and the glory of what you are actually things you should be punished for. That you should carry shame for your curiosity, your beauty, your skills, your uniqueness, your ambition, your intellect, your fears, your desires, for the choices you've made in your life. That you are inherently here to be punished for the you-ness of you. And with this card coming up in this place of the current moment, what's going on for us right now? This is where this card finds us. In this moment of really stepping back and contemplating the idea that we deserve to be punished or shamed or made to answer socially, publicly to God for some perceived imperfection, some flaw in our design, that who we are as a person inherently makes us inadequate. How we are made is wrong, and that we should feel sorry for it and try to slam the lid shut on ourselves, or else bad things will happen. And in this moment, collectively, we who are here, who are listening to this, are having a divine revelation of actually, fuck that. That who we are, who we were born to be, our innate gifts, skills, and talents are actually the seed of hope for healing the fuckery of this world right now. Pandora's presence right now is a sign of a new time where we have to give up, where we do give up. We don't have to, but we are choosing to give up the idea of inherent shame, and we're trading it for the acceptance of our inherent divinity. I wouldn't be what I am were I not meant to be what I am. I would not have the gifts I have if I were not meant to use them. I wouldn't have the personality I have if I was not meant to share it. There's nothing inherently wrong with me. There's nothing that needs to be corralled or wrangled or put in a box. This is our soul's purpose. This recognition of our inherent divinity, that we were built to be this thing that we are, is our soul's purpose. And it is our part of the collective uprising toward liberation. And in order to be part of the collective uprising toward liberation for everyone, for all, we must first break free from the internalized criticisms of the world, the internalized criticisms that we carry. We have to recognize these internalized criticisms as power games that were trying to keep us small so that we would not share the full glory of our gifts with the collective, so that we would be embarrassed, so that we would be ashamed, so that we wouldn't step on anyone's toes, so that we would play by someone else's rules. What's happening right now is that we are waking up to how stupid it is to be in any way ashamed, embarrassed, or try to hold back the gifts we were given, because we wouldn't have been given these gifts if we weren't here to use them. We wouldn't be given our curiosity if we were not meant to be asking and answering questions. We would not be given our beauty if we were not meant to share it. We would not be given our talents if we were not meant to exercise them to the fullest and use them in the pursuit of our dreams and our dreams of helping each other. So this is about recognizing that all of the things that you've ever been blamed or shamed for were never your fault. That you are a bearer of light, peace, comfort, hope, and reassurance in the world. You are here to defiantly believe in hope against all odds, to be constantly searching for the light, to reject the projections of anyone, any system, who wants to torment you with shame, blame, guilt, or demands that you shove yourself back inside the box to make other people comfortable. Right now, you are looking into your own being, into your own box to find the light. And you're realizing that the talent and beauty within you must be acknowledged by you. It must be treated as whole and holy. You are starting to recognize that the seeds of inherently worthy and beautiful and necessary things for the planet were planted within you. And then you came here, and now you must choose to nurture and express and blossom what is within this seed. And when you do, the thing that grows will become a light in your own life and in the world. You were born to express your gifts and your uniqueness to the fullest. And right now, you're waking up to that, but you're scared. So what's the block? The block is going beyond normal. Just straight up, we can choose to go with the mainstream, right? And the mainstream is the box. Stay inside the box. Play small. Blame yourself. Shame yourself. Compare yourself to societal standards and norms and everybody else, and look at all of the ways that you don't match and beat yourself up for those things and spend your whole life wrestling with the parts of you that don't quote unquote fit, right? That's the mainstream. So you can do that. Play small and live a prescribed life and be part of what I call in my book, the sorority of shame. We just bond with people over all of the ways that we're not good enough. And we just talk about how we suck. And we talk about how our body is wrong and all the things that we want to change about ourselves. We can do that. You can totally do that. You can totally spend your entire life focused on all of the things about yourself that don't measure up to the mainstream. And we're going to talk about that some more because this is woven through this whole reading. Or behind door number 2, we take a bolder, more authentic, more trusting way, and we will be thought of as weird. Those are your options. Those are your options. Let's be clear. You stay in the mainstream where you feel fucked up about yourself, but everybody else likes you, or you go your own way and you back yourself and those people see you as weird. Those are the only 2 options. The fear you have right now is of letting people think of you as weird. You already weird and you know it. You're probably, if you're here, like on your like 3rd iteration of like, okay, I think I'm breaking out of the mainstream. Okay, I did it. Okay, I lost some people. Okay, some people think I'm weird. Okay, now I'm cool here. Actually, wait, I could go farther. I could go farther. I could go farther. You're gonna keep going farther. That's who you're meant to be. This is also about the left brain over the right, the masculine over the feminine, order over wildness, logic over intuition, keeping everything rigidly adherent to the dominant social order, right? Do we fit into white supremacist, patriarchal, cis, hetero, ableist capitalism, or do we not? Do we check all the boxes? Do we perform or not? So it's not that there isn't a time and a place for logic or order or structure. But we can't completely worship one side and villainize the other and expect to have a life of balance and happiness. We cannot worship one set of tools and entirely reject the other. We need intuition, feelings, inner knowing, inspiration. We cannot sacrifice those things and expect to feel well and healthy. Look at society. If we eschew all of those traits and we say none of those traits are valuable and none of them is good, we see what happens. This does not work. So right now, you're being asked to take a more intuitive approach in your own life, in your work, in your creativity, in your spiritual journey. This is yet another threshold for you where you're about to get weirder according to the mainstream. You're about to get less relatable. And the block here is that you feel pressure from the world, from your conditioning, from your family, from society, to do things by the book, to do things by the mainstream, to do things by logic, Your fear is you need a well thought out plan for exactly how you're going to succeed, how you're going to make money, what you're going to do. You need to be able to explain and justify to people and get their approval and acceptance before you allow yourself to make a move. That's your block right now. This is your internalized normal and your internalized feeling that, like, if you can't logically see how every single piece is going to work out, and you can't explain how it's all going to happen, and you can't justify every single bit of your choices and explain it to people and have them say, yeah, that's a good idea, then you're not going to do it. You are trying to fit the ocean in a teacup, babe. You're not supposed to be socially accepted. You're also not supposed to know all the answers before you start. That's not how it works. You set out on the journey and you're going to learn things as you go. You're going to encounter new challenges. You're going to hit new learning thresholds. You're going to gather new information. You're going to meet new people. You're not supposed to be able to explain it all right now. That's not how life works. But the societal pressure that's been put on us is if we can't make a quote unquote logical argument for why we're making the choices we're making, we shouldn't do them. That's what's holding you back right now from allowing yourself to fully express all of yourself and all of your gifts. You can't be a rebel and a truth teller and a way shower and be accepted by everyone first, or be accepted by everyone, period. They have to stare. They have to be confused. They have to feel confronted. They have to doubt you. They have to reject you. They have to be mad. They have to try to discredit you before they can be like, you're a genius. They have to go through that. That's actually their journey that you're trying to stop them from having in order to control your own emotions and make yourself feel safe. Separate conversation. Your nervous system needs to be more comfortable with other people having feelings. You've got to be more comfortable with other people having feelings. And some of those feelings can be that they think you're weird and they think you're dumb and they think you're crazy and they doubt you and they think you're wrong. You just have to get more comfortable with allowing people to have their own emotional experience. That's your work. So in order for you to be a rebel, a truth teller, a way shower, in order for you to shine the light that you're meant to shine, in order for people to eventually come around and see what you're trying to do and support you, they may first have to experience shock and disbelief. And you have to be strong enough to allow them to do that. You have to stop squishing yourself back down again into a very limited set of, again, quote unquote, desirable qualities in order to be liked by the mainstream. So the block that you're having is that right now, you know, you have to break up with tradition yet again. You're going to have to find the courage in your own convictions, in faith in what you know to be true, in order to free yourself before you can free others. How are you going to do this work you're here to do in the world, which is helping other people heal, helping other people grow, helping other people see and value their own unique and innate beauty while you're trying to please them, while you're trying to impress them, while you're all bound up in your own sets of shame and judgment? How are you going to free them if you can't free yourself from that? You are meant to allow wildness in your life. You're meant to allow nature to take its course through you. Again, a theme that's going to come up over and over again in this reading. And your block right now is that you still want to be accepted by everybody. You want to be a rebel and you want everybody to like you. That's not how the rebel works. People don't like it when somebody comes and shows them that the way they've been doing things could be done differently. A lot of people feel confronted by that. You're not going to get them to give you permission to break the box. You've got to just break the box, and the people who are meant to come around will come around. So that's our block right now, is, you know, you are meant to cast off all of the internalized shame that you've been carrying about who you are and who you're meant to be, but you also want everybody to like you in the mainstream, and you don't want to lose anybody. So what happens when you say, okay, I'm going to lose some people. I'm here to break with tradition yet again. This is my journey. I'm going to lose another round of people. Fine, I'm doing it. Then the gift is beyond the mind, the heart beats. The gift is that you start to let your heart lead. And when you do, you start to feel your heartbeat sync with the heartbeat of the universe. You start to understand that you're connected to all of life. You start to feel connected to divine love. You start to experience your own love for life. which is the need to feel alive, to fully express yourself. That is the love for life, is the need to feel, to fully express yourself and to do things that you find meaningful and fulfilling and to joyfully go out and do them. Now, the way of the mind is to overthink, to obsess over details, to agonize over every choice and tell you horror stories about all of the ways that it could go badly and all of the ways that people might judge you and all of the things that you could lose, blah, 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 because it thinks its job is to protect you from those things happening. And then there's the way of the heart, which moves with this exquisite sensitivity, feeling and sensing its way forward, even in challenging and dangerous situations. And it responds to things before they're even clockable in the physical world. In your mental world, you're like, oh, I think I should go here. Why? Brain says, why? I don't know why. I just feel it. And I just go. When we follow our heart, we see and we know in a way that we can't when we are allowing our mind to be so loud and so dominant and to direct everything. The mind sees and plans and strategizes, which means it can only respond to what has already been. So it can only create more of what you've already experienced. The heart is where we feel and sense and intuit. That's a totally different way to live and create. And again, it's not the mainstream. This is not how society tells us to do it, right? Check your emotions at the door. There's no crying in baseball. Nah. Get in, bitch. We're going crying. Moving from the heart, from feeling, sensing, intuiting, is a completely different way to live. And it is closer to earth. It is closer to source. It is closer to divine creation. And it is scary because it's not socially acceptable. And that is the actual spiritual principle of surrender. That's what it means to raise your hand to God. This is what it means to say, use me, and allow yourself to be guided. And a lot of people like to give lip service to that idea. A lot of people like to talk about surrender, but then they also want to control everything and have all the answers and be able to create an entire plan of how everything's going to go. And if they can't come up with a plan, they don't want to do it. That's not use me. That's not surrender. That's not, here are the gifts I've come to earth with. Show me how to be of service. I'm following my heart. I'm doing it, right? Eldest children, I see you. When people ask you how it's all going to work out, you're going to have to say, I don't know, but I know that it's going to, because I trust that I'll always be fine and I'll never be guided to go anywhere I can't handle. People in the spiritual community, especially, like to pay lip service to that idea. They like to encourage other people to live that way. They like to talk about surrender, but in real life, when you're trying to create a plan and control everything, that's not that. That's not this principle in action. That's not living from your heart. The gift that's going to come when you accept that you are meant to be different, that you're meant to do things differently, that you're meant to break with tradition, that you're meant to shine the full power of your gifts out into the universe, is that you're going to start to let your heart lead and you're going to come into what is really the correct order, which is that mind exists to serve the heart's guidance and not the other way around, right? Right now, for most of our lives, what's been happening, mind internalizes all the instructions, all the rules. Here's how you be safe. Here's how you play by the rules. Here's how you get approval. Here's how you get success. And heart goes, but I want to do this other shiny thing over here. And brain goes, shut up. Don't do that. It's dangerous. Nobody will like it. You'll lose everything. That's what mind thinks its job is. We're supposed to let heart be out in front with the flashlight saying, ooh, shiny, let's go over here. And mind goes, okay, I guess we're going that way now. Let's come up with a plan for how we're going to do this thing. Let's go support heart because heart is in the lead. That's the correct order. That's how we're supposed to be doing things out here. It is not the societally acceptable way. It's the way that we're supposed to be doing it. Right now, deep down, you know what to do. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You already know what's true for you. It doesn't matter whether or not your mind is on board. It doesn't matter whether or not you have a plan yet. It doesn't matter whether or not you can figure out all the steps. It doesn't matter if you know how it's all going to work out. That's not even your job. You just know. Inside, you know. So your willingness to follow your heart and let your heart lead, to rebel against your own fear, which again is your internalized judgment and shame for who you are, popping up and saying, you shouldn't be this way. Your gifts are too weird. You're too much. You are wrong, right? All of that is internalized shame. That all that fear that bad stuff's going to happen is internalized shame. So your willingness to rebel against your internalized shame and follow what you feel is the gift that is coming for you when you accept that, like, all right, some people are going to think I'm fucking weird. So be it. I'm weird. Let's go. What now? Your brain and your heart have been in this conflict a lot, probably for the majority of your life, and it has been the primary source of your struggle and your suffering. The gift that's coming when you say, fuck it, I'm just going to do what I feel is right and figure it out as I go, can't be worse than what's happening right now, is that you will declare a truce, an internal truce, and finally surrender to letting your heart lead. Your mind will learn how to follow rather than trying to be out in front, controlling everything in advance in order to keep you safe. Your mind will become more relaxed and more trusting, but not first. Hear me. You cannot wait until you feel more relaxed and more trusting first. That's not how this is going to work because the mind, remember, works on evidence. The mind needs to see it. The mind works on evidence. The heart works on faith. So you can't wait until your mind relaxes and trusts in order to move on faith. That's not how it works. You're going to have to give your mind evidence. How do you give your mind evidence? Courage, right? And remember, courage is doing the scary thing while you're still scared. So you have to do the thing to give your mind the evidence. You have to show your mind, look, we followed our heart. We went on faith and nobody died. It turned out okay. You can trust me. I know what I'm doing. And then it will trust a little bit more the next time, and a little bit more the next time, and a little bit more the next time. It is going to take adjustment to get used to living without trying to plan and control everything from your mind. So if you're feeling right now like you somehow cannot plan and strategize like you used to, or if you're feeling like you know less than you've ever known before about where you're headed, that is actually a sign that this shift is happening for you right now. Your heart is not going to lead you off a cliff. Your heart is not going to lead you astray. And the sooner you start acting like you believe that, the sooner you're going to get to your next level. Everything in the universe is unfolding according to divine law, according to love, you included. You are not so unique and so special that you are exempt from that. And you alone are controlling the rising and the setting of the sun with your low mind. Mind likes to think it's that important. It is not. So you're coming into releasing the shame that you've internalized about who you are, who you're meant to be, what your gifts are. You're releasing the fear of people thinking you're weird and of doing things differently and of letting yourself lead by intuition. You're starting to create this truce between your head and your heart. You're starting to allow your heart to lead. You're showing your mind that you can trust. You're starting to say, okay, here are the gifts that I genuinely have. Show me how to use them. I am following my divine assignment. So how do you deal with other people during this period? We got the fool, the sacred fool. Your heart doesn't care about the right way to do things. Your heart don't care. Your mind says, this is real, this is not real, this is good, this is bad. You can do it this way, you can't do it that way. Heart don't care. Heart lives by inner wisdom that cannot be dictated or controlled. It loves, it lives, it wants what it wants. The heart's mantra is, it is what it is. I'm doing it the way I want to do it. This is what we're doing. It is a time for you to feel inspired and alive and passionate about what you can offer the world. This oracle specifically says, don't try to be appropriate. Don't try to be socially acceptable. Don't worry so much about what other people think of you. Just be. Like, let it be weird. The message of this whole reading is like, let it be weird. It is time to get weird, y'all. It is time to leave behind what has been in your life because you know it doesn't feel right for you to stay attached to it anymore. It's not working for you. You know where it's going to get you. It's going to get you more of where you're at right now, and you're ready to move on. The fool trusts life completely, right? What does it mean to be smart and clever? It means you think you can outsmart life. You think you can figure out solutions. You think you know. Nah, the fool's like, I don't know, I'm a fool. I'm not trying to outsmart life. I don't know more than God. I'm not trying to resist the flow. I'm just out here doing my thing, having a good day. I'm gonna figure today out today. I'm gonna figure tomorrow out tomorrow because I don't know nothing. The best, most divine spiritual position you could possibly take. I don't know nothing about nothing. I know I have gifts, I know I have desires, and I'm just going to show up and I'm going to do what feels right today. And I'm going to trust that today's going to take care of itself. And I'm going to trust that tomorrow's going to take care of itself tomorrow. That's what we're doing out here. The fool recognizes that the mind is constantly focused on fear, that the mind is what's keeping the heart from enjoying the spontaneity of life. So the fool says, okay, well, let's not listen to the mind. Let's ignore the fear and the doubt. Let's see the fear and the doubt this way and just go the opposite direction. It is time to play. It's time to play. It's time to let life happen for you in a more unscripted, unreserved way. The weirder, the more unexpected, the more ridiculous, the better. The best way to deal with how you're dealing with other people right now, it shouldn't feel safe or appropriate. Say the inappropriate thing. Do the thing that's going to shock people. Do the thing that's going to get you weird looks. Do the thing that you're so afraid to do because you think people are going to judge you. That is the sign that you're breaking from your own self-imposed conventions. Fuck them people. Fuck what them people think of you. It is time to move beyond them and to move into your next adventure. You need to let life operate more radically through you so that more miracles and more synchronicities and more opportunities, more life can occur. More life can only occur for you when you're letting more life run through you and not trying to control everything so much, not trying to be so damn safe all the time. It's time for you to get more electric and more eclectic, more plugged in to the apparent randomness of life. And I say apparent randomness because even when we don't understand it, there is order. But just go with things without trying to control them so much. You've spent your whole life trying to control everything, and it's time to let it go. And now, how do we deal with other people? We understand there's going to be people around you who will be challenged by this. They will not like it. A lot of times it's your family. The people who taught you the rules are not going to like it when you start breaking all of them. For some of these people, part of the reason they might not like it is because it's going to cause them to rethink their own lives. We all know people like this, right? So you start, here's a great example. You decide you're not going to drink alcohol anymore, but you have friends who all get together and drink wine. And you say, I'm not drinking right now. They take it to a place where they feel judged. They feel like you're judging them. And they're like, well, I still want to. And you're like, hey, I'm not saying anything about what you're going to do. I'm just saying what I'm going to do. And then they start to go into a place of like, they either may get mad, they may be like, well, you think you're better than me, or you're saying that I need to do this. And you're like, I'm saying nothing about you. I'm just making a choice for myself, right? Some people do not know how to watch other people changing without taking it personally as an attack, right? They don't like the fact that the way that you're living is causing them to ask themselves new questions. They don't like it. Now, other people, the people you want to be around, see you making new choices for yourself and they go, I love that. That's so cool. Ooh, maybe I want to do that too. Maybe that's positive. Or I don't want to do that, but I super support you. Let me know how I can help you. Those are the people we want to be around, right? But some people are going to be reactive to your changes rather than take responsibility. They will feel judged. That has nothing to do with you. You cannot control that. The fool does not react to this, right? Again, I love playing dumb and I talk about this all the time. Unless you tell me straight up you have a problem with me, I'm going to act like I don't know anything. I'm not noticing your funky energy. I'm not responding to passive aggression. If you're not saying nothing, I don't know nothing. I don't know, right? That's the fool position. I don't know. I told you I was doing this thing and then you got in a weird mood. Oh, look, a butterfly. I'm going this way. I don't know nothing about nothing. Just pay attention to what you're doing. Don't even notice it. Don't pay attention to it. It has nothing to do with you. The fool is not reacting to other people's reactions to them. They're just going with the flow of life. The fool knows Today's going to handle today. Tomorrow's going to handle tomorrow. People are going to come and go. Chips fall where they may. Nothing's going to stop me from having fun, though. Nothing's going to stop me from having a good day. Nothing's going to stop me from the fun thing that I'm doing. I'm just focused on what I want to do. I don't know. I don't know. Right? Again, being clever. Our cleverness causes us to try to tell ourselves a bunch of stories about patterns. Oh, I know when you do this thing, when you text me less, when you call me less, when you sigh and make this face, it means you think that, right? That's cleverness. Let it go. That's not what the fool's doing. The fool's like, do, do, do. I don't know. I don't know. Did you notice that like the sun is really pretty right now? Did you notice the way that the leaves look in the tree? I'm not paying attention to you being weird. I'm not telling myself any stories. I don't know. I don't know nothing. I don't know. That's your job right now. I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to do the thing that I'm going to do. So if you are starting to make choices that have people close to you questioning your sanity, you're on the right track. That's where you should be. You are waking up to life. You are letting go of your attachment to other people's opinions. You are coming into a different way of being. You are not monitoring and controlling yourself through your internalized stories about other people's approval of you. That's what we're supposed to be doing right now, is letting that go. There are going to be people who cannot come with you. Right? Again, back to our block. Our block is people are going to not like it. People are going to think I'm weird. You got to let that go. There's going to be people who can't come with you. Let them think you're weird. It might stir up fear and doubt when these people start to react to you, right? Again, a lot of the times it's family. What are you going to do? How are you going to make money? Are you sure you're going to be okay? Are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to leave that relationship? Are you sure you want to quit that job? Are you sure you want to open a business? What about this? Have you thought about that? Nah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. I'm not responding to that. You got to just keep going. It will pass. Their fears and their doubts will pass. Their judgments will pass. They will stay in your life or they will go away. And that, again, comes up later in the reading. The farther you go with this, just being like, I am blissfully following my own little road, skipping down the path, trusting that everything's going to work out, not a thought or a care or concern for how everything's going to go, because I just trust that everything always works out, right? The Fool, again, a divine position. It's not a divine position when we're out here trying to outsmart God. When you are living like that, you are gaining inner freedom. You are gaining creative juice. So stay your course and just don't take anything too seriously. That's the other thing we do. Oh no, you're mad at me. I'm taking that so seriously. That's not the position of the Fool. You're mad at me? Okay. Have a nice day. Talk to you about it later. Bye. Everything's going to work out. I don't know how. It's not my job to fix, though. Your feelings aren't really my job. Right? That's where we're at. So, the message from your spirit guides is to dream a beautiful dream. You are meant to be a creator. Your creative urge is the same creative urge of Source, of God, of the universe itself. You also contain the ability to draw harmony into being, to create beautiful order out of chaos. Who you are, who you were meant to be, the Pandora of it all, the person you came to Earth to be, is a person who was meant to dream of beauty and create beauty and to bring it to life in as many ways as possible. How you eat, how you dress, how you look, how you behave, how you create, how you write, how you relate to community, how you do relationship. You were here to dream of beautiful things and to create beauty in your life. And part of you, right, the internalized shame, has been made to believe that your love of beauty and your desire to create beautiful things is frivolous and superficial. And that is the wrestling match between your head and your heart. You've been made to think that your desire to create beauty for yourself and to create beauty in the world is a frivolous goal. It's not practical. It's not lucrative. It's not a real job, right? Whatever. It's not a serious pursuit. It's not important. Also, we're going to go back to this masculine over feminine thing. If the work that you feel like you were here to do in the world is work that falls into a category that has traditionally been called feminine, it is extra. That's not real. That's not important. That's not a job. That's frivolous. That's not a thing to focus on, right? So we can have a lot of internalized, frankly, misogyny around like the thing that I love most, that is the most inherently me, that is the thing that I'm here to share, is not important. It's frivolous. But beauty is an expression of the radiance of the heart. Beauty is necessary. It is required. The other thing that's important is that societal beauty, right? Our societal idea of beauty, the standards of beauty, the dominant standards of beauty, push that beauty can only look really like one thing, that beauty is something that fits inside the lines. But let's think about the way that nature is beautiful. Nature's beauty is weird and wild. I always think about like bioluminescent fish and like those fish with like giant mouths that just like float along under the ocean, right? Like nature is full of things that are very weird looking. There's no right angles in nature. The beauty of nature is quirky and endlessly diverse. Your beauty is quirky and endlessly diverse. So part of your struggle has been people making you feel like your beauty wasn't right? Back to that Pandora message. You were built this way. You were designed to be exactly how you are. Your body, your hair, your face, your gifts, your skills, your talents, your mind, your perspective. You were designed to be this way. And then you got here and a bunch of people were here making you feel like that was wrong. And you internalized a bunch of shame. But why would you have been designed this way if that's not how you were meant to be? There's no mistakes in nature. There's no mistakes. This is what you were meant to be. There's no wrong answers. So part of your struggle has been people making you feel that your beauty wasn't right, but you were never designed to fit into some narrow, superficial definition of beauty. So the message from your spirit guides right now is that they want you to honor nature and the nature that you are, the nature that is expressing itself through you. You need to be brave and wild and find beauty and harmony in everything, even in change and chaos, which is coming up. Yeah, finding beauty in change and chaos. Chaos is the creative process happening, right? The creative process is not neat. The creative process is not right angles and clean lines. The creative process is chaotic. So if you are experiencing chaos, if the change that you're going through feels like chaos, that means you are in the creative process. So we have to recognize that there's nothing to fear in apparent chaos, because apparent chaos is greater beauty and grace and life and nature being experienced through you. We were never designed to always have all the answers and do everything in a neat and tidy way. That is a lie. It was never true. You are meant to be this person. You're meant to be the person you are. You're meant to be the person who dreams of beauty and creates beauty in a far more holistic and creative sense than the narrow, superficial societal sense. That is who you're built to be. That is part of your healing gifts for the planet. The beauty that you are, the beauty that you create, is both soothing and healing for you as the creator, but it's also soothing and healing for those that receive it. That is not meaningless. It's not impractical. It's not trivial. A world without art or differences or uniqueness would be so fucking boring. That's not the world we were meant to live in ever. Your spirit guides also say that there is a situation going on in your life right now that you are currently doubting your ability to fix or heal. And maybe it is something having to do with your family opposing what you want to do with your life, or it might be a relationship. I just sense it has something to do with this block card. So there's a situation in your life right now that you're doubting your ability to fix or heal. You can't currently imagine it being different than it appears to be. So you're doubting your ability to change it. or to make a constructive change. But the next step, the solution, the resolution in this situation isn't going to be revealed by how your mind figures out how to fix or control or manage it or what you do. This situation will be healed and perfected into all it can be by the way you reveal the beauty that's already present in the situation, the beauty that's in the chaos. So if we accept the existence of harmony in all situations, even when we can't see what that harmony is right now, it opens up a new pathway in our brain. By expecting there to be beauty in every situation, even in challenges, even when you can't see what the beauty is in the situation right now, you're more open to seeing the potential of the situation. So don't try to force this situation or make it take the quote unquote right shape. Instead, what your spirit guides want you to do right now is ask this situation to show its beauty to you. I don't know what this is about for you. This might be about your body, your relationship, your money, your career, a creative project, whatever it is, you already know as I'm talking about it, what situation it is that you've been mentally chewing on, doubting your ability to fix it or heal it. So what you need to do is ask, take out your journal, unless you're driving, but write it down. How is this situation exactly right? What is the innate beauty of this situation exactly the way it is? From there, you're going to start to be able to see the creative genius of what is, and you will know what to do. So maybe the creative genius of what is there's an irreparable rift in this relationship and I need to walk away. Maybe the creative genius of this situation is I have an injury right now and I need to learn to rest. Maybe the creative genius of what is this collaboration is no longer working for me and I have to go off and do things on my own. Rather than trying to fight it or fix it or figure something out, why is this exactly what's right? That's going to show you the creative genius of what is, and then you're going to know what you need to do. And you're going to follow your heart. You have the power to be a positive influence in whatever situation is most meaningful for you right now. And your spirit guides want you to know that. So, your final advice for how you bring all of this into fruition: collaborative dreaming. You are dreaming. Again, I just want to tie us back to where we started, Pandora's gift. This place that you're in of recognizing that all of the things that you've been shamed for throughout your life are your gifts, that you are meant to shine them out into the world, that everything you came to earth with is the seed that you are meant to germinate and blossom here through your life. You have a dream, you have hope, you have a thing you want to build, and that can be really hard for us, especially culturally right now, because things feel really bleak and it can be really challenging to not give in to nihilism and to not give in to hopelessness and to be like, well, why should I create beauty right now? Why should I try to help people right now? How is my little thing not frivolous? People need beauty. They need your work. They need your gifts. We are not healing to be able to handle more trauma. We're healing to be able to handle joy, as Crystal the Oracle says, right? Like what comes after? Part of what your gift is to be able to think of beautiful things, to think of relief, to think of soothing, to think of celebration, even in the darkest. That's part of your job. And there are other people, right? If this is for the collective, that means there's more than one of us out here experiencing this. We all need to connect. God damn it. I hope that I'm still here. Please give me a like, give me a something if you can still hear me. I didn't put my phone on do not disturb and I got a call. Please give me a like, give me a heart, give me a thumbs up. Please let me know if my audio is still working. Can you hear me? Papa, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Please, a like, a wave, a something. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. In the past when I've gotten calls and I've gotten bumped, then my audio stopped. Okay, so what I was saying is there's more than one of us. If this applies to you and this is a reading for the collective, then there's a group of us. You're dreaming not just for yourself. Your dreams are not frivolous, they're also not selfish. You're dreaming for a new humanity. You're imagining a world that is healed with respect and understanding and true community that fosters life. Just the fact that you dream that way contributes to the greater good. Just the fact that you conceive of a world like that contributes to the greater good. And sometimes like the kids call it chuggy. Sometimes it's hard to like be earnest like that and be like, no, I believe in humanity. I believe in our ability to create what's next. I believe in healing, right? That can almost feel embarrassing to admit you believe in because nihilism and hopelessness is, kind of trendy. Um, Jadedness is kind of trendy. Being sarcastic and flippant about the fall of Western civilization is kind of trendy. But after that shit falls, then what? Somebody's got to be here to build something new. Somebody's got to dream the next dream. So just the fact that you dream that way contributes to the greater good. Your heart, your dreams are intelligently cooperating with the grand scheme of loving creativity, working to heal the hearts of the world. You have a desire to co-create with conscious, like-minded people. And let's be honest, you cannot do that when you're out here trying to please, placate, and convince the wrong people. So if your desire is to co-create with conscious, like-minded people, that's where you want to be, but you won't let your freak flag fly and you won't get weird with it and you won't shine out your true gifts because you don't want to alienate the mainstream. How are you going to find conscious, like-minded people when you're trying to blend in with the sheep? It's not going to work. You can't do both. You have to let go of these wrong people so you can find the right ones, so that you can align with and magnetize the right ones, the other people who are out and proud fringe dwellers. You have to let your truth out so that you can find those like-minded people. Your collaborative dreaming is a win-win. It will help you succeed and it will help others succeed. It will be healing for you. It will be healing for others. Working with others creatively allows your heart to grow. It heals you. It helps you find ways to make your dreams come true. Also, when you, again, like I said about doing the scary thing, when you follow your heart's guidance and you say, okay, I'm letting my freak flag fly. I'm saying what I really think. I'm saying what I really feel. I'm doing the thing I really want to do. And it leads you to aligned people who do like you. That is what gives your mind the evidence it needs to trust your heart's guidance and do it again and keep going. So this oracle is also saying, my little control freaks who want to have an entire plan, who want to know how everything's going to turn out, who want to be able to do everything themselves, you have to stop being hyper independent. You have to stop isolating. You have to stop being a lone wolf. Yes, you have your own unique path to walk, and so does everyone else, but we're supposed to be helped. We're supposed to let others in. A single drop of water can only do so much. You got to join with others if y'all want to make a wave. You're part of a wave of loving consciousness for the planet. You're meant to be exploring collaboratively and collectively. Sometimes when we work with others, we get hurt, right? Sometimes relationships are challenging. Some connections will be short-lived, some will be learning experiences, others will be harmonious and long-term. Back to the Fool, doesn't matter. Just keep moving, keep going forward, on to the next thing. Your job is to trust the force in the universe that brings people into your life and out of your life according to divine order. Back to that surrender, back to that trust. Some people will be taken away. Some people will be brought in. People are going to ebb and flow throughout our lives. That's okay. But we cannot be so wrapped up in our old stories. Again, back to this Pandora card, our old experiences of rejection. In the past, when I showed who I really was, when I shined my light, when I was brave, when I was proud, when I did what I wanted, people hurt my feelings. People judged me. I have shut that down. And now I'm trying to avoid that from ever happening again. We got to let that go. We got to let that go. Not everybody is going to be your second grade bully. Not everybody is going to be your mom. Not everybody is going to be that ex who hurt you. Not everybody is going to be that client who burned you. Not everything is going to be the bad thing that happened in the past. Again, that's the cleverness. That's your mind being like, oh, I recognize this. This has happened before. Now I'm going to use what happened before to predict the future. No, that's not how the heart works. That's not what we're doing anymore. Open-heartedly moving forward, accepting connections, working with others, accepting that sometimes people are going to be brought into our lives and we're going to go, ooh, not you, no, thank you. And we're going to have to move on and it might sting a little bit. Regroup, keep it moving. But you cannot do it by yourself. So if you've been wanting to lead a community, entrepreneurs, you've been wanting to build a community, you've been wanting a lot of followers, you've been wanting to do group work, but you don't want anybody to count on you, and you don't want people to see you, and you don't want people to judge you, and you don't want people to talk about you, you don't want people to talk to you, that's not going to work. How are you going to lead a movement? You don't want to talk to people. How are you going to build community? You don't want to participate in community. That's not how that works. So you might have some healing work to do around groups. You might have some healing work to do around people. Another piece of this card around group work, right, is that group work, like all relationships, can come with challenges. It can bring up old issues that we have around feeling heard or capable or valued. It can bring up issues about your ability to hear feedback and take criticism and responsibility and accountability. Sometimes people want to be in community, but they don't take feedback well. And a critical part of being a good community member is your ability to take feedback and accountability. Groups, working in groups, working with people can inflame your insecurities. That's yours to heal, right? This is also true with dating, right? When we see people who are like, yeah, well, when I'm single, I'm fine. But when I'm in relationships, it's stressful and it's emotional and all this stuff gets brought up. Yeah, well, that's because when you're single, you're not being mirrored and you're not having to confront all your stuff. So of course it's easier when there's no one else there. If you want to heal the issues that you have about trusting people, you got to get with some people and you've got to do that work. That's your work to do. So if other people are getting inflamed and activated, that's theirs to heal. If you're getting inflamed and activated, that's yours to heal. And running from everybody and trying to do everything by yourself so that you never have to do that work is not the path. If you want to be working in community, if you want to build a community, if you want to have there be a community around your work, if you want to build a movement, you're going to have to get right with working with people. So sometimes working together is challenging. That doesn't mean it's not supposed to happen. So there's some work that might need to happen here that you need to do to get right with how you feel about groups. I'm feeling specifically here, there's some visibility stuff. Back to this Pandora thing. I want to share my gifts. I want to like really share who I am with the world. I want to be out and loud about what I think, what I feel, what I believe, what I have to offer, but I'm afraid of being judged. There's some work to be done here around how I feel about groups of people. I'm afraid of being bullied. I have witch wound. I'm afraid of being persecuted. I'm afraid of haters, right? Like there's some work that some of us have to do around being seen and being part of groups. Now, another thing to consider here for some people, if you're already in group work and in the group that you're in, you feel unheard, or you feel like the group you're working with isn't working out, and that's actually the thing that's holding you back, and it's kind of time for you to strike out on your own, but you're afraid, you're kind of hiding behind the group, then your guidance right now is to stay in your integrity, honor what you feel, reconnect with why you joined the group in the first place, and start to listen to your heart. Again, following your heart. So your mind might be telling you, oh, if I leave this group, I'll have nothing. Bad things are going to happen. I'm going to lose friends. It's not going to work out for me. What does your heart know to be true? You're going through this experience right now because you're meant to learn something about how to be part of a group and honor your own voice, right? This is the balance of group work. How do I be part of this collective and know my own path and honor my own path and honor my own intuition, my own needs, set my own boundaries, not lose myself in the group but be my own individual member of a community. How do I share here? So that you can do the work that's required of you in the future. So even again, this card is about the people who come into your life and the people that come out in divine order. Even if what you realize in your heart is, I have to leave this group because there's another one I have to find, that might be the right answer. So for some of us, we're not letting ourselves be with other people because we don't want to let anybody get too close. For others of us, we might be hiding in a group because we don't want to stand on our own 2 feet. And you're going to know which one is you as I'm saying this. So the most important thing is that you can hear your own voice, right? Yes, we want to work within a collective, but we never want to lose track of what our heart is telling us. We never want to lose track of our own voice. Others may not be able to hear your voice or receive it. But when you listen to your own voice, when you hear your heart and you know inside if you're working with the right people at the right time, or if it's time for you to move on, that's fine. Not every collaboration is meant to be long term. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Neither is better or worse. They're just different. So this is finding the balance between hearing and trusting your own voice and what your heart knows and letting that lead you to find the right people, and taking responsibility for your own boundaries and making sure you're not bailing on every connection without owning the work that the connection is there to show you. The both and. So what's our shadow for the season? Right in line. The shadow for this season is share wisdom. Part of your block right now, part of the shadow that you're experiencing, the fear that you're experiencing about stepping into your next level, is that you might be underestimating your contribution and what you have to offer because maybe you don't have a degree in it or you're not certified in it. What you intuitively know, you inherently know, or you know it because of your life experience, not because of institutional knowledge, right? So again, back to this idea of it's all supposed to look like one thing. Some of what you've internalized is this idea of if you didn't get a degree in it, or if you didn't go through a certification program, then you're not qualified enough to share this thing and it doesn't count. That's a shadow for you right now. You got to let that go. You are doubting that you are qualified enough to share the thing you're here to share and to do the thing you want to do. Back to that Pandora card. You have been made to doubt that your innate gifts are enough. You've been taught that your innate gifts should be different. You should hold back some of the things that are innately you in favor of going and learning some of the things that other people want for you to have, right? So right now you're holding yourself back with the idea that you need to be given permission or qualification from some external source, whether that's an external individual, an educational institution, some external approval. You want someone to come down and knight you, tap the sword on your shoulder and say, now you're allowed to go do this work. Nope. You've got to do it for yourself. It is time for you to give voice to all of your experience and share your truth. Your wisdom, your lived experience is enough. Who you are is enough. Now, I want to be clear because people ask me about this in coaching all the time. Don't go lie about your qualifications. No one is saying that. Who said that? Who said that? No one said that. Don't go out there and say you're qualified in something you're not. But also don't think for a second that coming out and saying, I know this because I have X number of years of personal experience of doing it. I have on-the-job qualifications. There are a lot of jobs that they say, we want you to have a degree or this many years of experience. They're equivalent, right? And sometimes people who might have a degree in something but no experience in the field are simply not as qualified as people who have no degree, but they have the lived experience, right? So your lived experience is enough. You get to just be honest about how you know what you know. Maybe the way that you know what you know is that you're psychic. And you could just be like, hey, I'm psychic. My spirit guides told me this is how I know this. And you have to accept that there's going to be some people who say, I don't believe you, and they are not your people. And there's going to be other people who say, oh, okay, cool. If you say, hey, I'm qualified to do this job because of XYZ life experience I have, there's going to be some people who say, No, thank you. I want someone who has a degree in it. There's going to be other people who say, fine, your lived experience is enough for me. That goes back to finding the right people for you and you being willing to be honest about who you are and what your gifts are. So, no, you don't need to lie. But whatever idea you have that everyone is going to reject you because you're not qualified enough yet, you're not ready yet, that's you making something up. You don't know that to be true. The right people are out there. So when you are honest and truthful and straightforward about how you arrived at this thing that you're sharing, how you know what you know, great, no problem. There's going to be people who love that and are all about it. There's going to be other people who say no, and it is their right to say no, and they can go find someone else, has nothing to do with you. But this shadow that you have that you are not quote unquote qualified to share your gifts, you got to let that go this season. We're shedding that in Libra season. It's not coming with us into the future. There you go. There's your reading. I think this is a really powerful one. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments if this landed and resonated for you. I would love to hear about it. You can DM me on Instagram at Intuitive Edge Coaching. You can leave comments on YouTube. You can leave comments on Spotify now on the podcast. You can email me intuitiveedgecoaching@gmail.com. Okay, love you. Bye.